right, good morning. It's good to see all of you this morning. Are you nervous?
Yes.
Well, it's good to be honest. And for my very first debate, I was extremely nervous as well. We all were, so it's natural. And but unlike us, we didn't have someone to kind of help us to learn this sort of thing the very first time we did it. So you actually have that advantage because we're here to help you. So I know you're nervous, but there's nothing to freak out about. And if you have trouble, we'll do our best to help you with that. Okay. But what we'll do is I'll announce in a minute which rooms you'll be in and who your judge will be for the first round, and we'll try to get through the whole debate, all the different speeches. Okay, so our promise to you is that we will help you, but we want you to promise to us that you'll try to get through the whole debate, all the speeches. Okay, and we can work together to do that. But before we begin, the three of us wanted to also invite you to ask us any questions, any last-minute concerns or issues that you might have that we can quickly address. Anything?
Well, one thing I noticed in the negative block, is it okay for the first negative rebuttal to talk about case and give some new responses as a rebuttal? So it used to be the sort of customary for the the other the negative responding to the
Yes.
officer.
Yes. The first negative rebuttal does not always have to debate the off-case position. The 2 and C, the second negative constructive, could do that if they wanted. You can debate whatever you want in the negative block. The only rule is that you shouldn't debate about the same thing, right? Your partner takes part of it and you take the other part of it. And so with that being said, if the first negative rebuttal is answering the second affirmative's answers to a position, whether it's the case arguments or the off-case arguments, the first negative rebuttal can answer them. They can read new evidence. They can make answers to those arguments. Really, anymore, the rule of no new arguments is really about the 2NR and the 2AR, because the first negative rebuttal is still answering the 2AC, and then the 1AR has to answer those negative arguments from the negative block. So we will not impose a hard and fast rule on this for you. So if you feel like if you're the first negative rebuttal and you feel like you need to answer something that the second affirmative constructive speaker said by means of new evidence and new analytical arguments and so forth, then that'll be okay. So, but yes, feel free. If the second negative constructive speaker wants to talk about one of the disadvantages, the first negative rebuttalist does not have to do that. The second negative constructive can do that. The first negative rebuttal is the person who gave the first negative constructive speech. See, each debater gives one constructive speech, and each debater gives one rebuttal speech. Okay? Yesterday we had Jake do both speeches only because he doesn't have a partner for the demonstration debate. But for you and your partner should both do the negative block. One of you does the constructive and one of you does the rebuttal.
So if I will be first negative constructive speech, then I must be second negative.
No. If you do the first negative constructive, you will do the first negative rebuttal. And the same thing for the affirmative. So the first affirmative constructive speaker is also the first affirmative rebuttal speaker. All right, then let's get started. Yaya, do you have another question?
No.
Okay. So I will be judging all of the debates today in this room. So all of the debates that happen in this room will have me as the judge. And Jake will be next door, and then Shanna will be the room next door to that, all right? So what we'll do is I'll just announce who your judge is, and then you can see which room you go to. Does that make sense? Okay, so round one. The first debate. Make sure you get your... While you're doing that, let me also point out that if you need paper for flowing or note-taking, we have some up here. Okay, we ready? The first debate of Kenshiro and Chin-Li versus Ryo and Takahiro will be with me as the judge, so in this room. The next debate, Takafumi and Daichi versus Takuya and Yaya, will be in 1406 with Shanna. And the third debate will be Koki and Kenji versus Shota and Tsubasa in Jake's room, which is next door in 1405. What we will do is we'll have these debates. Each one of us will be responsible for getting them started, and then we will break for lunch after your debate. Okay, so lunch is still at 12 o'clock, and then at 1 o'clock, at the end of lunch, everyone comes back here. Okay?